point being that we reach a point in the creation of the lives of our characters where we have to fill in the blanks. We have to establish moments in our characters' histories that enable our characters to have a fulfilling before life. Every one of us in this room is the product of our paths, okay? Whether we were influenced by wonderful things or we were influenced by things that were not wonderful, okay? We are the product. If it's true about us, it's true about our characters, okay? What's true in theater is true in life. What's true in life is true in theater. There is no difference. So if I'm going to play a specific character, if I'm going to be Stanley in Streetcar, if I'm going to be Blanche in Streetcar, it's not enough that I just work with the information that's in the script. It doesn't give me enough information, all right? If I go back to basics and I go back to the complete understanding that all my behavior as an actor, when I am living the moment of my character, moment by moment as it is happening, and I'm being spontaneous in those moments, I'm being inspirational in those moments, it all goes back to how much information I have put into my unconscious. Okay? If I just deal with surface information, that's going to be the quality of my spontaneity. That's going to be the quality of the creative moment that I have. Okay? It can't be any more than that. Right? If I was learning your wonderful language, which I just think French is the prettiest language in the world, I am limited to the amount of information I have in my unconscious. I'm limited to that. For me to speak fluently in that wonderful language, I have to put more information into my unconscious. Okay? It needs to have more information in there because I can't possibly be spontaneous in a language if I don't have that information. If I'm playing a character, if I am living the life of a character, I must have stored the information in. So when I'm doing backstories on my character, when I'm creating a past for my character, it must have relevance to the play that I'm doing, must have relevance to the place in life that my character is at that moment. And also, I must fill in some blanks. For example, Blanche is in a very unhappy, unrewarded period in her life when we see her in Streetcar. But I need to know those moments when she was happy. And what were those moments? When she was joyful, when she was young and spirited, when she believed that life held a wonderful adventure for her before she became so disillusioned. And she became the Blanche that we see in the play. I need to know those things as well as those darker moments, like when she was dismissed from the school where she taught. I have something that is so precious in creating the life of my character, and that is my imagination. Okay? And your imagination, you need to start looking at it as a muscle. It needs to be worked. You need to work your imagination. So you can't go into, for example, playing Stanley or Blanche in Streetcar and going, I don't know if I do something, if it's going to be the right choice. If I go in and I create this, I don't know if I can, really give something that's going to really be as good as anything Tennessee Williams might come up with. You have to forget all of that nonsense. You have to go in and say, I have an imagination, I have a creativity inside of me that is able to take the information that I have gathered from this play, the information that Tennessee Williams had fed me, and I'm able to expound upon that and develop these wonderful backstories that so support the life that I'm creating at this moment in time. So when I get up and I play Blanche, I play Stanley, I can play those two characters with enormous confidence because I have done the work. Backstory is not just something that is casually talked about. Oh yeah, well, my character. No, it's not a casual thing. It has to be substantial. Okay? See, one of the things that I want to find out about Stanley, for example, is where his chauvinism comes from. Okay? Well, in the late 40s, early 50s, men were far more chauvinistic than they are today. All right? He also comes from a Polish background. What generation Polish? See, it's very easy for me to say, to support Stanley in this play, I'm going to make him first generation American. Okay? That his family, they even speak Polish at home. But the woman has her role, the man has his role, and this is the way it is, and this is the way it should be. Also, in the Army, when he was in the Army, I can start talking about how the men in the Army treated women during that period of time. Okay? With what disdain many of them had because women all of a sudden were wearing slacks and doing men's work back then. So I can start using my imagination to create this world that he came from, so that when this creature called Blanche Dubois comes into his life and upsets this relationship that he has with his wife, I can understand what it means for him to lose power to this particular woman. All right? There's the great rape scene at the end of Streetcar, and I've always said, to me it's been very interesting because everybody turns around and says when Stanley rapes Blanche. And my question has always been, physically maybe, but who actually rapes who in that scene? Was it Blanche who was raping Stanley by obliterating his masculinity? So it becomes very, very interesting when we start looking from those points of view, and that's why I'm going to use my imagination. I put this in, then I forget it. Just like all of your memories that you have from your past are in there someplace, but you don't walk around thinking about them. But if I made these strong choices, believe me, I have a scar on my head here, okay? I can make this scar a scar that my character has, and I could create a story for this scar for my character that supports what my character is doing in the play, and that can feed me from now on. I can give this scar a history for my character. It's a real scar, I have it there. And it has a history for me, but I can give it a history for my character. Anything that is going to bring the character closer to me and internalize the character, not externalizing, but internalize. So that when I have subtle behavior as my character, just subtle behavior, I don't necessarily know where that behavior is coming from, and I don't care, as long as it suits my character and it progresses